Welcome to Coding with Scratch Challenge 5 Game Publishing. This is our fifth and final challenge in our series, and if you finish this one and the others, you'll have earned your Scratch Ninja badge. So let's get started with game publishing. In this challenge, we want you to take maybe your best game and really make it extra playable. We want people to love your game, and we want it to have that kind of stickiness that people come back again and again. So to fulfill this challenge, you need to create a great game. We've got 4 requirements there. We need to see a cool splash screen that lets people know who built the game. We need some high score lists. We want to see some sound effects on there, and we need some instructions for the user. And you can see right where you put that. Now, some of you have been doing this stuff already, which is fantastic. But this is your chance to really show you off your best work. And of course, we'll post our favorite games on the website. Okay, let's take a look at what we're talking about for game publishing. I took my Choose Your Adventure Goldilocks game, and I've added some things to it to try and make it a more fun, more playable game. In this case, if you say no and Goldilocks gets attacked by squirrels, that then takes you to a maze game. And in my maze game here, the squirrel chases Goldilocks through the maze, and if she succeeds, she can run back to the cottage and to safety. Alright, and as all along the way, as she does this, her score is increasing, and she makes it to the cottage, and she gets a bump in her score. So we've got a score going on. We've also got some sound effects and things like that. So let's take a look inside this project and see what we're talking about. Okay, the first thing we want to look at is the splash screen. The splash screen, I think I've talked about it in some of the hints videos. It's pretty straightforward. You have a sprite that's going to just show up at the beginning of the game and put up a message. So here we've got a really basic, boring looking splash screen. I'm sure you can do much better. Also using the same sprite and with different costumes to say things like it's the end, and also to put messages onto the screen as needed. So that can be a very versatile sprite for you. The script for this is very straightforward. When the green flag gets clicked, you can show the sprite, the splash screen, for a few seconds, and then you're going to hide it and broadcast a start message. You can also hide it when the sprite gets clicked, and similar things when the other messages are on the screen. To keep score, you can see I've got a score variable here. We really wanted to talk about how you can save your high score so people can know if you have an all-time high score. Unfortunately, this week Scratch has curtailed the use of the cloud variables here. And apparently they were having some trouble on their server with people using cloud variables too much, so they've limited it at the moment, so we can't really show that to you. But what you can do there is if you created a high score here and you set it as a cloud variable, it would stay between when people have played the game or not. So for now, I'll just create a regular high score. And so if I wanted to keep this, I would have to make that as a cloud variable. And then at the end of the game, you're going to check and see if the current score is greater than the high score. And if it is, you want to replace the high score with the new one and tell somebody, congratulations, you've got your high score. All right, we won't be able to demo that today, but that should be working very soon. Here's what the high score script should look like. At the end of the game, in this case when we receive the end message, you check to see if the high score is if the score is greater than the high score, and if so, you set this current score to be the new high score, and then you could say something like congratulations. You might even ask the player what their name is. One thing we haven't talked about is if you want to use, for example, the someone's name in something they say, like you want to say so and so is the winner, you can use this block under operations called join, and that allows you to join two different words, or a word and a variable, things like that. You can even have joins within joins, like in this one where it says answer, the person's name, their score was, and then the score. So we've got a join inside of a join command. That's another useful block for you. Um, and again, although the high score isn't working right now because of the cloud variables, hopefully they'll get that fixed very soon. The other thing we want to talk about is sounds. There's a lot of great things you can do with sounds. First of all, there's sound blocks that you can use to you can play sounds and play sounds until done, which will stop the script at that point until the sound is finished playing. Otherwise, the script continues while the sound is going. You can also play notes. One of the things you can do is you can set an instrument. There's a lot of instruments to choose from. There's a whole collection. So if you want to play guitar, set your guitar and then you can play a note. There you go. And you can choose lots of different notes. So you can make your own music. You can be creative with repeat loops and timing and make interesting music. You can also use the built-in sound tool. That's the sound tab. Of course, it comes with the meow. Many of you have probably played with that already, but you can. They've got a whole library of sounds to choose from. Let's see here. Let's find a. There we go. We've got a nice bell here. And one of the things people like to do with sounds is we can edit them. So if you want to take this sound and you want to say, okay, let's find out what this sound would be like backwards, I can highlight it, go to the effect and say reverse. And then we can play a reverse bell. You can also copy and edit parts of your sound using the copy command, and you can change the volume and things like that. So you can play around. It's a nice little sound tool there. You can also upload sounds if you've got some music you like. If you've got an MP3 or something, you can just go to your computer and upload it and play your music that way. Okay, so that's a lot of the sound features that are out there. You can also just use the recorder to record sounds. If you do that, it's going to it will ask. Let's see. Oh, I guess I've already done it. It should pop up a little message saying, "Oh, is it okay to use your microphone?" And if you say allow to that message, then it'll let you do that. Of course, you have to have a microphone on your computer. Not everybody has that, but you can get one for not too much money. Um, cool. All right. The last thing we need to talk about is the instructions. Those are on the project page. I'm sure you've seen lots of instructions, but when you write yours, you want to make sure and give the player some information on what the goals are, how they're going to be able to score, and of course how they're going to move around if they need to navigate a maze or something like that. And so make sure you've got some good instructions. The project tags are useful as well, so that if people are searching for a particular type of game, that allows them to find your game. So I'm going to put. All right. So we've got choose and stories on there, and maybe. All right, these are things that will allow users to find your games easily. And then, of course, the best part is when somebody favors your project or loves your project, or even best of all, if they remix your project and it goes on and they create new things with it. Those are all great things to have. And so when you get your games, get them working as good as they can and put them into the studio, then lots of people will see them and lots of people will love them, I'm sure. All right, go ahead and make some great games. It's been a lot of fun this coding with Scratch, and I hope you had a good time too.